They laughed at you. They whispered when you walked away. They called you lunatic because you spoke about things they couldn't see. But what if I told you the very words they mocked are now standing in front of them as reality? What if your so-called crazy talk wasn't madness at all but vision? What if the thing that made you different was the evidence that you were chosen? Stay with me, because tonight you're about to understand why they feared you long before they understood you. They called you crazy. You remember the looks, the smirks, the dismissive nods, when you said something was coming, when you felt a shift before it happened, when you spoke about purpose while they were obsessed with comfort. They labeled you unstable because it was easier than admitting you saw further than they did. Vision always sounds insane to people who can't see beyond the moment. The weight of being different. Being different is not glamorous. It is isolating. It is heavy. It feels like standing in a crowded room but speaking a language no one else understands. You feel things deeply. You sense changes before they arrive. You question systems others blindly follow. That weight is not random. It is the burden of awareness. The awakening begins quietly. Spiritual awakening does not start with fireworks. It starts with discomfort, with a feeling that something is off, with nights where you stare at the ceiling wondering why you feel called to something bigger. You begin to outgrow conversations. You lose interest in shallow validation. You crave truth more than applause. Why society resists you. Society loves predictability. It rewards conformity. When you challenge norms, you disrupt comfort. When you speak about higher purpose, you expose complacency. So they try to shrink you. They joke about you. They diagnose your depth as delusion, not because you are wrong, but because you are inconvenient. The pattern of the chosen. The chosen are rarely celebrated at first. They are questioned, misunderstood, tested. They carry insight before they carry proof. They see storms forming while others are enjoying sunshine. When the storm finally arrives, people call it coincidence, but you remember the moment you warned them. The pain of isolation. You lost people, friends drifted, family members doubted you, some even tried to correct you. You felt alone in rooms that once felt safe, but isolation refined you. It forced you to rely on something deeper than approval. It trained you to stand without applause. Your words became reality. And then it happened, the thing you sensed, the shift you predicted, the opportunity you spoke about, the exposure you warned about. It unfolded exactly as you described. The same people who laughed went silent, because now your crazy had evidence. The fear behind their mockery. Understand this clearly. Mockery is often disguised fear. When someone sees conviction they don't possess, it unsettles them. Your confidence in the unseen threatened their attachment to the visible. Your faith in purpose disturbed their dependence on routine. The signs you are chosen. You have always felt older than your age. You question everything. You cannot tolerate injustice easily. You feel called to impact, not just survival. You experience seasons of intense growth followed by deep testing. You have an inner knowing that refuses to die no matter how many times life hits you. The cost of awareness. Awareness will cost you comfort. It will cost you easy friendships. It will cost you fitting in. But it will give you clarity. It will give you discernment. It will give you the strength to walk away from what diminishes you. That exchange is not loss. It is elevation. When vision looks like madness. Every breakthrough begins as a thought no one understands. Before manifestation, there is imagination. Before proof, there is belief. The chosen often speak in future tense while everyone else is trapped in present limitation. That gap creates tension. That tension creates labels.
And flow
You were never meant to
through
blend
me.
in. You tried. You tried to silence your instincts. You tried to lower your standards. You tried to dim your voice. But something inside you refused to disappear. That resistance within you is not rebellion for ego. It is alignment with purpose. Spiritual sensitivity is strength. feel energy shifts. You sense insincerity. You pick up on subtle changes in rooms. That sensitivity is not weakness. It is awareness sharpened by experience. It allows you to navigate storms before they fully form. Why they come back later. Have you noticed? The same people who once dismissed you slowly return with questions. They want advice. They want clarity. They want to understand how you knew. They will not always apologize, but their curiosity is confession. The discipline of the chosen. Being chosen does not mean being exempt from struggle. It means being shaped by it. You are refined through trials, tested through delays, strengthened through rejection. Each challenge polishes your perception and deepens your patience. You speak what others suppress. Many people feel what you say. They just don't dare to articulate it. When you speak, you give language to what they hide. That makes you powerful, and power makes insecure systems uncomfortable. The turning point. There comes a moment when you stop explaining yourself. You stop trying to convince. You stop shrinking to be digestible. That moment is liberation. You realize you were never meant to be understood by everyone. Only the mind can call you. Chosen does not mean perfect. You make mistakes. You doubt yourself. You sometimes question your own insight. But even in confusion, there is a pull guiding you back to purpose. Being chosen is not about superiority. It is about responsibility. Your crazy was conviction. The world calls unwavering belief crazy, but conviction looks irrational to those who measure reality only by what they can see. You are speaking from foresight, from intuition refined by experience, from alignment, not impulse. The proof changes nothing. When your words manifested, something shifted, but not in you. You already knew. The real shift happened in them. The doubt cracked, the laughter faded, silence replaced mockery, and in that silence truth stood tall. Embrace the calling. Stop apologizing for your depth. Stop shrinking your insight. Stop diluting your vision to make it palatable. You were not designed for small thinking. You were shaped through isolation for impact. And now I need you to hear this clearly. You are not crazy. You are not delusional. You are not unstable. You are aware. You are intentional. You are called to live with purpose and integrity. If this message felt like it was speaking directly to you, that is not an accident. That is alignment. Like this video, if you know you have been misunderstood for seeing further. Comment, I trust my vision, if you refuse to shrink anymore. And subscribe to Return to Awakening, if you are ready to walk boldly in your calling without apology. Your voice was never madness. It was momentum, the aftermath of being right. When reality finally aligned with your words, you didn't celebrate loudly. You observed quietly. You watched the shift in their eyes. Some avoided you. Some pretended they always believed. Some acted like it was luck. But deep down, you knew something sacred had just been confirmed. Not to them, to you. The loneliness of foresight. Seeing ahead can feel like carrying tomorrow's headlines in today's silence. You sit with knowledge that has not yet unfolded. You feel changes forming before they become visible. That kind of foresight can isolate you, because while others are comfortable, you are preparing. The internal battle. There were moments you questioned yourself, nights when their words echoed in your mind. You wondered if maybe you were overthinking, maybe you were exaggerating, maybe you should just be quiet. But every time you tried to silence your intuition, something inside you felt restless, because suppression is heavier than criticism. The fire that refuses to die. What makes you different is not that you speak boldly. It is that even after being mocked, you still believe. Even after being dismissed, you still sense. Even after being misunderstood, you still stand. That endurance is not normal. It is spiritual resilience. Growth through rejection. Rejection shaped you. It forced you to build conviction without validation. It trained you to move without applause. It matured your spirit beyond the need for constant approval. While others depended on recognition, you learned to depend on alignment. The responsibility of influence. Now that your words have weight, you must carry them carefully. Awareness is not a license for ego. It is a call to humility. Just because you see more does not mean you boast more. The chosen understand that insight is a trust, not a trophy. When people start watching, there is a subtle shift when people realize you were right. They begin observing you more closely. They analyze your tone. They listen longer. They measure your next move. Not because they admire you fully yet, but because they no longer dismiss you. Your presence changes rooms. Have you noticed how rooms feel different when you enter? Conversations pause, energy shifts. Some people become guarded, others become curious. Awareness carries a presence, and presence cannot be faked. The gift of discernment. You no longer accept everything at face value. You sense intentions. You detect inconsistencies. You recognize when something feels forced. That discernment protects you. It keeps you from attaching to what drains you. Breaking old identities. The hardest part of awakening is releasing who you used to be. The version of you that needed approval. The version that feared standing out. The version that shrank to fit expectations. That identity had to dissolve so your authentic self could rise. Not everyone will understand. And that is okay. Understanding is not required for purpose. Agreement is not required for destiny. Some journeys are walked without universal support. What matters is alignment with what is right and true. The strength in silence. You have learned that not every insight needs announcement. Not every revelation needs explanation. Silence can be strategy. Silence can be protection. Silence can be power. From mockery to respect. Respect often arrives quietly. It does not always come with an apology. Sometimes it shows up as changed behavior, as careful listening, as subtle deference. And while they may never admit they doubted you, their posture reveals it. Guarding your energy. Now more than ever, you must protect your focus. Not everyone who returns has pure intentions. Some are curious. Some are opportunistic. Some are threatened. Discern who deserves access to your growth. The evolution of confidence. Your confidence now is different. It is not loud. It is not aggressive. It is grounded. It comes from lived confirmation, from experience validated by time. That kind of confidence does not need to prove itself. The chosen are refined, not rewarded. Being chosen does not guarantee ease. It guarantees refinement. Each challenge sharpens you. Each delay matures you. Each misunderstanding strengthens your internal foundation. When doubt tries to return, even after manifestation, doubt will attempt to whisper again. It will ask if the next vision is real. It will remind you of past criticism. But you now have evidence of your discernment, and that evidence silences fear. Leading without arrogance. The balance is delicate. You must lead without superiority, speak without pride, stand firm without becoming rigid. True awareness is steady, not boastful. You were prepared through pressure. Pressure did not break you, it trained you. It forced you to refine your voice. It stripped away insecurity. It taught you patience. Without the pressure, your insight would have remained fragile. The quiet satisfaction. There is a quiet satisfaction in knowing you trusted yourself when no one else did. That satisfaction is internal. It does not need validation. It is a private confirmation between you and your conviction. The next level of awareness. But understand this. This is only one manifestation. There will be more insights, more warnings, more confirmations. Awareness is a journey, not a single event. Stay grounded, stay disciplined, stay aligned. Because what they once called madness is only the beginning of what you are capable of seeing. The invisible thread. There is an invisible thread connecting your thoughts, your intuition, and your reality. It moves silently, unseen by those around you. They cannot touch it, measure it, or predict it, but it carries you forward. It is the quiet engine behind every manifestation they once mocked. The lessons in isolation. Isolation is never wasted. It teaches patience. It teaches observation. It teaches you to hear what others cannot hear, to see what others cannot see. It forces you to turn inward and find the source of your power. Those who rushed to join you when you succeeded were not present during the lessons. They only arrived at the fruit. The subtle power of awareness. Awareness is subtle, almost invisible at first. It whispers rather than shouts. It moves like water, shaping reality quietly, persistently, and without fanfare. Most people never notice the tide until it crashes. You, the chosen, are the tide. You are quiet, yet unstoppable. Your intuition is a compass. Every decision you make has been guided by intuition long before logic caught up. That gut feeling, that inner voice, that sense of timing, they are not random. They are navigation tools. The world calls it irrational because it cannot quantify the unseen. But you have proof. It always leads you right. They will keep testing you. Even after your words became reality, challenges will persist. People will doubt again. Situations will shift unexpectedly. The chosen are never free from tests. They are simply prepared to endure. Every trial strengthens your alignment. Every resistance confirms your path. The sacred patience. Patience is not passive. It is sacred. It is the ability to wait without losing faith, to act without haste, to observe without interference. Every moment you wait, every silent decision you make, compounds into power others cannot comprehend. The shift in perception. The world around you shifts slowly. Some recognize it, some resist it, some will never admit it. But every manifestation, every confirmed vision gradually changes the landscape of perception. You are a catalyst, whether they acknowledge it or not. Your influence is unseen. Your words, your actions, your energy, they ripple outward in ways invisible to the naked eye. People feel your presence before they understand it. Lives begin to align without you even trying. Influence is not about applause. It is about unseen impact. The strength in solitude. Solitude is where clarity thrives. It is where your mind sharpens, where your vision consolidates. While others seek external validation, you are building internal certainty. That certainty cannot be shaken by mockery, dismissal, or doubt. The unstoppable momentum. Every insight, every warning, every truth you speak compounds into momentum. One manifestation leads to the next. One vision fulfilled feeds the next. And slowly, imperceptibly, the world adjusts to the presence of someone who refuses to conform. The divine timing. Your revelations, your successes, your confirmations, they are not early. They are not late. They unfold in divine timing. Even when it feels slow, even when the world doubts, the alignment is perfect. Trust the timing, for it is orchestrated beyond your comprehension. The courage to keep speaking. You must keep speaking, not for recognition, not for validation, but because truth cannot remain silent. The chosen voice carries power, even when it is lonely, even when it is mocked, even when the world pretends it doesn't matter. The calm in chaos. You have learned to remain calm while chaos surrounds you. The storms that panic others are the stages where you stand firm. This calm is not resignation. It is mastery. It is understanding that most things unfold exactly as they must. The weight of knowing. Knowing is a burden as much as it is a gift. You carry foresight while others carry doubt. You act with clarity while others act with hesitation. But every burden is a preparation, every weight is a tool, every responsibility is a step toward greater awakening. The mirror of reality. Reality mirrors your beliefs. Your words, your visions, your intentions, they shape what unfolds. The world you predicted exists now because you first conceived it. That mirror reflects your truth, not theirs. The power of alignment. Alignment is everything. When your actions, intentions, and awareness line up, manifestation flows naturally. When they misalign, struggle intensifies. You have learned to pursue alignment over approval, purpose over praise, truth over comfort. The next threshold. You are not finished. This is not the peak. It is a threshold. Beyond it lies deeper clarity, stronger conviction, and greater influence. Every confirmation is a preparation for the next stage. You are only beginning to realize the scope of your awakening. The silence that speaks. Never underestimate the power of your silence. Sometimes the most profound statements are made without words. Sometimes the loudest messages are conveyed through presence, integrity, and unwavering consistency. Silence is a weapon, a shield, and a voice all at once. The awakening expands. As your awareness grows, it touches others. Some will follow, some will resist, some will be inspired without ever acknowledging it. Your journey is contagious in subtle, unstoppable ways. The energy of the chosen spreads, whether recognized or unseen. The reckoning of truth. Truth always finds a way to reveal itself. What was doubted becomes undeniable. What was ridiculed becomes respected. What was invisible becomes visible. And the chosen witness it all with quiet acknowledgement, not arrogance. The invitation to rise. Each experience, each trial, each confirmation is an invitation to rise higher, to see further, to act with more courage. You are being prepared for more than just understanding. You are being prepared for impact, the unseen architects. You are an architect of realities unseen. Every thought you cultivate, every vision you hold, every truth you speak constructs the unseen framework of what will come. Most cannot see it, most cannot touch it, but it is real and it is yours. The test of patience. Even after proof, patience remains your trial. People will misunderstand. Circumstances will delay. Opportunities will seem hidden. But patience is not stagnation. It is the quiet, relentless preparation of timing. The chosen endure because they know when to move and when to wait. The power of remembering. Remember the moments when your insight was laughed at. Remember the nights spent questioning yourself. Remember the isolation that refined you. These memories are not scars. They are markers of growth. They are proof of the strength that now carries you forward. The shift from fear to faith. Where once doubt whispered, faith now speaks. Where once fear lingered, trust prevails. The chosen do not ignore fear. They transcend it. Each manifestation, each confirmation, is a reinforcement that intuition and alignment outweigh uncertainty. The legacy of vision. Your words and visions leave a legacy, whether anyone acknowledges it or not. Every insight contributes to the invisible blueprint that shapes lives, opportunities, and reality itself. Legacy is not about recognition. It is about impact, unseen and unstoppable. The strength in knowing. Knowing your path, even when others cannot see it, is a rare strength. It allows you to act decisively, to navigate chaos, to influence subtly yet profoundly. Others rely on certainty, you rely on knowing, and that knowing is your power. The unrelenting flow. Life flows, unfolds, and challenges persist, but the chosen move within the current, not against it. You understand that resistance consumes energy while alignment multiplies it. Flow is not ease, it is mastery over timing and perception. The return of the observers. Those who once mocked you now watch. They notice your calm in storms, your clarity in chaos, your unwavering trust in what they called impossible. Their curiosity is confession. Their attention is acknowledgement. Not everyone will admit it, but energy never lies. The refinement of character. Every trial refines your character. Every misunderstanding strengthens your integrity. Every silent victory deepens humility. You are forged in the fires of doubt, isolation, and ridicule. The chosen emerge tempered, focused, and resolute. The language of the unseen. You speak in a language the unawakened cannot comprehend. Symbols, patterns, subtle signs, they guide you. Others dismiss them as coincidence, but you see the threads, the connections, the alignment. That is not imagination. That is awareness. The sacred rhythm. Your journey follows a rhythm the world cannot dictate. Growth, manifestation, testing, refinement, it all unfolds in a sacred sequence. Even when life feels chaotic, there is a hidden order. The chosen learn to trust it, move with it, and harness it. The power of authenticity. You no longer perform to please others. You no longer dilute truth for comfort. You stand authentic, unapologetic, unshakable. That authenticity is magnetic. It attracts alignment and repels distraction. The deepening of insight. Every manifestation expands your understanding. Every fulfilled vision enhances perception. What once seemed impossible now becomes a reference point. The chosen never stop learning from reality. They interpret it, integrate it, and use it as a guide. The courage to persist. Persistence is a quiet form of rebellion. It is the refusal to surrender to doubt, fear, or societal pressure. It is the commitment to remain true to what is seen inwardly, even when the world resists outwardly. The energy that cannot be contained. Your energy cannot be constrained. It flows beyond spaces, beyond minds, beyond recognition. Presence, intention, conviction, they ripple outward, shifting outcomes before anyone even realizes it. The continuous awakening. Awakening is not a destination. It is a perpetual process. Every insight, every challenge, every confirmation opens doors to deeper understanding. The chosen continue evolving even after manifestation because reality is infinite and so is potential. The discipline of silence. There is power in choosing when to speak and when to wait. Not every truth is for every ear. Not every vision requires announcement. Silence allows energy to gather, alignment to strengthen, and manifestation to mature. The mirror of influence. Your influence mirrors your clarity. The more aligned you are internally, the more impactful your presence externally. What you embody subtly reshapes environments, decisions, and consciousness around you. The invitation to greater responsibility. With every insight confirmed, responsibility grows. You are no longer just observing, you are shaping. Your voice, choices, and actions ripple outward, touching people and realities in ways you may never fully see. The threshold of mastery. You are approaching mastery, not of knowledge, but of alignment, discernment, and timing. Manifestation is now natural. Awareness is now instinctive. Influence is now inevitable. But mastery requires continued vigilance, humility, and courage, the power of unseen work. Much of your growth happens where no one can witness it, in the quiet moments of reflection, in the nights spent questioning and refining, in the unseen choices that shape your character. This unseen work is the foundation of every manifestation, every confirmation, every breakthrough. The patience that transforms. Patience is not passive waiting, it is active preparation. Each delay, each setback, each ignored warning becomes a tool for refinement. The chosen understand that time is an ally and manifestation is always in its perfect season. The strength in knowing yourself. You have learned to trust yourself when no one else did. You have learned to move confidently even in doubt. You have learned to rely on inner knowing over external validation. That self-trust is your armor, your compass, and your anchor. The resilience of the chosen. Every criticism, every mockery, every dismissal was a test of your resilience. You emerged stronger, more focused, more certain. You learned that the world may not understand, but understanding is not required for fulfillment. The flow of synchronicity. Life now moves in patterns you recognize. Coincidences no longer confuse you, they confirm you. Opportunities appear aligned with your intuition. People cross your path who echo your energy. Synchronicity is no longer random, it is proof of your alignment. the calm before manifestation. There is always a quiet period before reality catches up to vision, a stillness, a waiting, a refining. The chosen understand this silence. They honor it. They move with it. They know that the storm of recognition will come, but only in its perfect timing. The courage to stand alone. You have learned to walk alone without fear, to trust your path without validation, to speak truth without applause. Solitude is not loneliness, it is sovereignty, and the chosen walk it with unwavering conviction. The evolution of awareness. Awareness deepens with every experience. What once was subtle becomes obvious. What once required effort to discern now flows naturally. You see patterns, connections, and truths that were invisible before. This evolution is continuous, infinite, and unstoppable. The subtle influence of truth. Truth is magnetic. Even when spoken quietly, it reshapes minds, energy, and circumstances. Those who once mocked your words now unconsciously adjust to the reality you predicted. Influence does not need to be loud, it simply needs to exist. The refinement of purpose. Purpose is honed through trials, testing, and confirmation. You no longer chase what is convenient or accepted. You follow what resonates, aligns, and fulfills the higher call. Purpose now moves you, not society. The sacred responsibility. With insight comes responsibility. You see further, act wiser, and manifest stronger. But your power is not yours alone. It touches lives, shapes decisions, and impacts realities. The chosen carry this weight knowingly and with intention. The invitation to persevere. Each manifestation, each confirmation is not the end. It is the call to move forward, to trust the unseen, to act with courage, to refine awareness, and to step boldly into alignment. The journey is continuous, and the chosen never stop walking it. The quiet victory. There is a victory that does not need announcement, a confirmation that does not need validation. It exists in the quiet, in the knowing, in the inner acknowledgement that your vision, your intuition, and your conviction were never wrong. The momentum that cannot be stopped. Once insight aligns with reality, momentum builds. The energy you have cultivated begins to ripple outward. Opportunities multiply. Influence expands. The chosen harness this momentum with precision, discipline, and awareness. The clarity of vision. Your vision is no longer blurred by doubt or external opinion. It is sharp, unwavering, and intentional. You see the path ahead with certainty, and each step becomes an act of alignment rather than guesswork. The power of persistence. Persistence is the signature of the chosen. When others abandon hope, you remain. When others question possibility, you trust. When others give up, you endure. That persistence is what transforms foresight into reality. The harmony of alignment. Every thought, every action, every intention now resonates with alignment. Misalignment feels unnatural, uncomfortable, and easily corrected. The chosen move in this harmony, and through it, reality bends to vision. The awakening deepens. Awakening is not a single moment. It is ongoing, expanding, and profound. Each manifestation, each trial, each insight deepens your connection to purpose, intuition, and unseen guidance. You are no longer awakening, you are embodying awakening. The transformation is visible. Even if others do not acknowledge it fully, transformation is visible in energy, presence, and outcomes. The world begins to bend to those who understand themselves, trust intuition, and act with conviction. The chosen are no longer hidden, they are inevitable. The next stage of power. What comes after manifestation is mastery, over thought, over timing, over influence. The chosen understand that power is not about control, it is about alignment, and alignment with purpose is unstoppable.